Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, The College Process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I usually do as far as having the camera and everything else. I'm doing essentially a webinar here to show you guys the 10 basic questions or the 10 most asked questions, I guess, from you guys out there in the world of YouTube here for the videos I put out there for you guys. Now, obviously, after I put the 3 different videos on the federal student loan forgiveness, essentially you guys just went kind of crazy here and asked me basically every question under the sun here. You can see here just question after question after question about the 3 different videos I put up here. So I figured the easiest thing for me to do is just take your questions, kind of group them into the top 10 most asked questions about the federal student loan forgiveness program, and essentially answer them for you guys here on the channel. Now, before I kind of get into it, what I did was make it very simple for you guys. For those watching here, let me just bring it up. Hopefully this fits in the screen here, but these are the questions I'm gonna go through each one of these questions here. I basically took all the questions you guys asked me on the YouTube channel and put them into group order. By the way, these questions are not in any specific order here, so I'm gonna answer each one, go down the list, boom, 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 answer the questions for you guys here. But just a quick little side note before we start, if you haven't watched the first 3 videos of, I guess, the series here on the student loan forgiveness process that's come out since the day they actually did the federal student loan forgiveness, I suggest you watch these 3 specific videos. I have them right here on the screen here. In the description of this video are the video links to be able to go see each one of them. Part 1, part 2, and then part 3 is the one below here. You see them in order here for you guys. Those 3 videos, by the way, will answer a lot of your questions you have, but these are the ones you guys asked a lot of questions about, these top 10 here. So I'd like to, let me just put these in a group here. I'm gonna go through each one of them and answer them for you guys automatically. And then before we begin though, just one little quick side note here. I know a couple of you guys had questions about the echo or some kind of echo in the video. I don't really hear the echo, to be honest with you, but you know, for those who are asking about the echo, my wife and I and our son were on vacation, so I can't unfortunately change the room format. So if there's an echo, I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry about that if that's an issue, but obviously starting next week when I go back to our home, essentially where I do most of the videos, that will be out of the way. And just before we start, just a quick little side note here. Obviously, there's a lot of questions you guys are asking me here as we go through the whole process. I'm getting all kinds of questions from you guys here, but essentially the questions that I get on this channel here about things that just don't make any sense, I'm not going to answer your questions, by the way. Good, bad, or indifferent. If you don't like the student loan forgiveness, why are you watching these videos? If you're hating on it because you're not getting anything out of this, or because somebody else is getting a benefit, it doesn't affect you whatsoever. If you're not happy for somebody else, then just go to another channel, to be honest with you. For the other questions that ask me, I've had maybe 20 questions about this specific thing. Why do you take more than 2 minutes to do this? Or why don't you just answer the question directly? We're talking about federal student loan forgiveness. It's something that's been happening for 2 years now. It's more complicated than the tax system. If you guys can't watch more than a 2-minute video, not the channel for you. Go to TikTok or somewhere else, but I give you guys a lot of detail because you guys need context. I can't just answer a question directly. It's almost impossible when you're talking about student loan forgiveness because it's so in depth. So if you don't have more than a 2-minute time span, this is not the channel for you. And by the way, I don't answer any of the political questions on here or the hate questions or the why questions. Is somebody else getting it and I'm not getting it? I don't answer your questions. I basically just block you from the channel. So good, bad, or indifferent, I use this channel not as a source of opinion or income. I use this channel to basically inform parents as well as to use it for our scholarship program. So this is something I use to basically give out more assistance to parents as well as scholarship funding to students. So if you want to post random nonsense, I'm just gonna block from the channel. Good, bad, or indifferent, just the way it is. Just a quick little rant there before we get into the 10 questions I showed you guys before. Now, right at the bat, let's just jump right into the questions. I know you guys ask me, a lot of you guys ask me, where am I getting my resources? Do I, just make this stuff up? Or do I have an inside source? No, I get this stuff from NPR, New York Post, Washington Post. I get it from the US Department of Education. I get it from studentaid.gov websites. So I take all my sources with my 25 years experience and I give you all this information. Like the last question just came in. I'm not just making this stuff up, guys, by the way. So it's not just a channel just get random views or clickbait. I'm giving you the actual information that's out and available at this point in time. So now, all that being said, obviously, let's jump right into your questions here. Okay, so right at the top, the first question I've gotten, I have a variation of these questions, is basically, can we take the loan out now and get the loan forgiveness? And the answer is no, you can't do that. It's got to be a loan established before January 1st of 2022. And what I mean by established is for the students going into college next year for the fall of 22, you're probably thinking, well, we got a loan and we accepted a loan in May or June or July before starting school. Does that count? And the answer is no. The loan has to be certified, which means the school has to have gotten the money to pay for a bill. So technically speaking, the last possible time you guys could have got a loan to be able to be counted for federal student loan forgiveness is the spring semester for 22. So if you got the loan and you used the loan for spring semester 22, then that loan and the previous loans before that are eligible for federal student loan forgiveness. Any loans going forward are not eligible for student loan forgiveness whatsoever. Now let's go to question number 2, or group number 2 of the questions I typically got from you guys. What if I don't have a tax return? What if I haven't worked? What do I do when they ask us for the tax documentation? And this is very simple. Believe it or not, on the IRS website, if you go to irs.gov, what you will see is on the irs.gov site, you can ask for a non-filer statement, basically showing that you didn't have to file taxes for 20 or 21, indicating to them that obviously since you didn't file taxes, you're obviously under the threshold of 125,000 for individual or 250,000 for a couple as far as the requirement for getting the student loan forgiveness here. And then group number 3 questions, a lot of them I got in here. By the way, this is not in any order specifically. Group number 3 questions. What if a student loan was taken out by the student, but they didn't graduate? This is the way it works, guys, by the way. Whether you're a current student or a graduate student or a student who just went to college and established a loan but never graduated, you guys are all in the mix for student loan forgiveness if you meet the criteria required by the federal government from the U.S. Department of Education. So if you didn't finish college, not a problem. You're still eligible for federal student loan forgiveness. Let's go to group number 4 here, question number 4 here. What if you only received Pell Grants for 1 semester or 1 quarter or 1 year, and not all 4 years? Can you still get the extra $10,000 loan forgiveness because you received Pell Grants? And the answer is yes. Now, obviously, once again, I showed you guys in the previous videos, if you go to studentaid.gov website and you guys log in, here when you guys log in, once you first log in, you guys will see on the screen here, right in the left here, both the loans that you guys have gotten as well as the grants. The grants here are basically indicating if you've gotten Pell Grants. So if you've gotten Pell Grants at any time, at any kind, at any time in the year of you guys being in college, you guys are eligible for the $20,000, essentially the extra $10,000 of federal student loan forgiveness. Now let's talk group number 5 questions that came in. Group number 5 questions, does this apply to graduate students? And the answer is yes. Let's say you guys didn't take any federal loans, the direct loans as an undergrad. You didn't take the $5,500 for freshman year or the $6,500 for sophomore year or the $7,500 for junior or senior year. And you guys elected when you started grad school to take the $20,500 of grad school loans you guys were eligible for every year. That does count. Or if you guys didn't take that, or if you guys paid back, but you had grad plus loans, guess what? This counts as well towards the loan forgiveness. So that helps out the grad school questions here. And now let's go to question number 6 here. Does this automatically happen? And the answer is yes for some of you and no for some of you as well. And this is kind of how the way they answer the question, by the way. Now, for you guys out there that did a FAFSA form for this academic year, the 22-23 academic year, that's going to show your 2020 taxes. So technically, you guys are already in the mix. They already have your tax documents. Or if you guys did any income contingency programs as far as the repay or the pay or the IBR and everything else as far as the repayment income contingency programs, they already have your 2020, in some cases your 21 taxes. So a bulk of you guys, 8 million of you guys, will automatically get this. There's nothing you need to do. The rest of you guys, if you watch video number 3, I talk about what you need to do to get ready when they notify you for requiring the paperwork. By the way, new news came out just today. The forms will be out roughly around the beginning of October. You need to get your stuff done before January 1st. That way you don't get stuck in a repayment to get your loan forgiveness process basically figured out and completed. Now, the way it works is they will ask you for either 20 or 21 taxes. Right now, they're saying either or. So it's up to you guys which one you guys provide them to get the federal student loan forgiveness. And then group number 7 questions is, well, I didn't take out specifically $20,000. I took out, let's say, $15,000 or $14,000 or $16,000. But over the course of the years, based on the interest that was added up, I am over the $20,000. And based on everything going on, I am eligible for $20,000 in loan forgiveness. Will they only take out my principal amount, or will they only take out the principal and interest amount as far as the loan forgiveness? And the answer is, no matter what your balance is, whether the bulk of it was principal or the bulk of it was interest basically growing on your loan every year, it doesn't matter to them. It's just the amount you have in total will be selected for the 10,000 reduction or the 20,000 reduction. So just in case the interest grew it a lot, it doesn't matter. You will be eligible for whatever you were eligible for based on your total debt amount. The next group of questions, question group number 8 here. Is it true that if we made any payments towards the federal direct loans that we will basically get that rebated back. Let's call it basically refunded back to us. And their answer is yes and no. If you made payments during the forbearance between March 2020 until now, so if you were reducing your debt down regressively and sending a bunch of payments in, and you fell below the $10,000 or you fell below the $20,000 they're going to give you guys in forgiveness, then you guys will essentially get a refund back, to be honest with you. That's what they're going to do. Now, if the payments were made before March 2020, as far as before the pandemic, the CARES Act and everything else happened, no, those payments do not count towards a forbearance. So if you are somebody who paid off your loan before all this stuff happened, you guys aren't going to get a refund or a rebate or anything in the check in the mail as far as a stimulus, good, bad, or indifferent. I know a lot of people are annoyed about this. I'm in the same group, by the way. I paid off my loans like 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm not going to get any loan forbearance either, or any stimulus package or anything else. But I'm not complaining about it. Good, bad, or indifferent. You should be happy for the people that are getting this. It is helping, believe it or not, the very most needy people out there. It's not helping the rich and everything else people are talking about. Now, group number 9 here, the questions you guys gave me here of the top 10 questions is, does it matter which degree or which program you were in specifically? Was it a associate's degree? Was it a political science degree? Was it a BA? Was it a BS? You know, all these things, does degree or major matter? The answer is no, it doesn't matter. It just matters that you have federal student loans based on you guys going to college at any point in time for any degree, for any program, and so on and so forth. If you have the federal direct loans, you guys are eligible for, if your income obviously and everything else matches up, eligible for the 10,000 or 20,000. So your major, your degree does not matter whatsoever. And then the last part here, number 10 here, the 10th question you guys have been asking me here on the questions here, the 10th one is, does this get taxed as far as the loan forgiveness we're getting? And their answer is no. Based on the federal loan stuff, you guys will not be taxed federally for your federal loan forgiveness. So if you guys are getting 10,000 or 20,000 for the student or the parent or so on and so forth, it is not going to be taxed whatsoever. So you guys are fine here. And then I'll give you guys one more, the 11th one. A lot of people have been asking this question, and I don't have a specific answer for it yet, but it seems based on the criteria and everything else coming out from the Washington Post and NPR and everybody else I look at, a lot of people are wondering, if we have a student loan and we have a parent plus loan, does that mean technically we can get 10,000 off for the student's loan and 10,000 off for the parent loan, because they are indicating the parent loans are in the mix? And the answer right now is yes. The way it's kind of worded and the way it's kind of situated, it looks like yes, parent plus loans can be forgiven up to 10,000, even if the student is getting the $10,000 themselves for their own student loan forgiveness. So right now the answer is yes for those parents asking about, do we get the students 10,000 and the parent plus 10,000 for technically a combination of 20, or in some cases a combination of 30, depending on the situation? The answer right now is yes. Now, obviously, I haven't put it on the top 10 list because I want to get more information from it. They've only given a small amount of information on this loan, so I want to make sure I'm correct on what I'm saying. But right now, it looks like the answer is yes. Until I have it completely in there, I'm not going down the path of saying 100% yes, but I do feel comfortable saying about 90, 95%. It looks like it's going down this way, which would be a huge benefit for families out there. And all that being said, hopefully you guys like this format. If you guys have more questions, if you guys want me to do another top 10 of this, other than these questions, you have more questions, just leave your questions down below in the comment section. I'll do another top 10, basically Zoom meeting, depending on where I am, to answer your questions. It seems like this is the quickest and fastest way to get the video out there for you guys as well. Or if you also like the video, obviously leave us a like and everything else. And if you want more information, please subscribe. You'll be notified when we do additional videos. And once again, thank you guys, everybody out there, for watching. And also, I know I kind of had to rant in the beginning, but I do want to thank all the parents out there that do support the channel and do leave good, leave helpful comments and positive comments and everything else. I really appreciate all you guys out there. Everything else happening. And with all that being said, thank you guys once again. I'm Ed from Principia Prep. Thank you for watching today's video.